been asking for it, and again, she scores. Jaja again trying to keep her team within this fight. She looks so determined.
Carlos winds up again. Wow. Such an amazing back.
Michelle Gumabao. Wow, that was beautiful.
Here comes Valdez.
Wow, like the execution of this combination play.
The Creamline Cool Smashers are in familiar territory. They are one win away from snatching a third straight Open Conference title, but the first as a professional team in the first and only professional league in the Philippines. They are poised, experienced, confident, all born from what's becoming a winning tradition now. And again, they are led by the face of their team and the face of Philippine volleyball, pretty much, who always seems to find a way to deliver at the most crucial times, over and over again. In the meantime, Cherry TIGGO, the newcomers in the league, have no tradition in the PVL yet. They have no titles in the PVL to speak of yet, and no history of winning in the finals here in the PVL. But what they have is grit, determination to compete, the ability to adjust, and more importantly, they have shown comebacking abilities not just from set to set, but from game to game, and even from a series standpoint. Led by the towering, ultra-talented sisters who are unfazed in their quest to finally win a title together. Will they rise from adversity today, or will the champion team not give them a chance to recover? Welcome to game number 2 of the finals of the Premier Volleyball League Season 4 Open Conference. And in the case of the Cherry TIGGO crossovers, it is win or go home. For the Creamline Cool Smashers, they're looking for another trophy to add to their collection. And it's all happening at the PCV Socio-Civic and Cultural Center in Baccaray, Ilocos Norte. Magandang hapon, Pilipinas. My name is Boom Gonzalez. Together with Mela Tunay, we are live on One Sports and One Sports Plus. Hi, Mela.
Hi, Boom, and hello all our volleyball fans out there. This is potentially our last day of the PVL Open Conference. Matagal nating hinintay, but I'm sure we're gonna have a good match. The same intensity as we've witnessed yesterday between these two teams.
And just when we thought that Creamline Cool Smashers in game number 1 would have a walk in the park, so to speak, after the 2 sets na panalo, etong Cherry TIGGO really giving us what the finals game is all about. At bumangon at nanalo and forcing that 5th set.
That's right. Yun nga yung i-expect mo talaga sa final series, no, na anything can happen. Any team could bounce back. And actually, this game, nagkaroon tayo ng dalawang major momentum swings. Of course, Creamline started the match on fire, you know, attacking off-speed hits and serving hard. Pero towards the end, enough na yung lead na na-build nila. Pero kalaunan, medyo nakahabol nga itong Cherry TIGGO. They banked on their blockings and their serves. Yun naman talaga yung lamang ng kanilang team. And they were able to extend the game into 5 sets.
Na-outserve itong Cherry TIGGO and na-out-ace the number 1 serving team in the league. Na-out-ace in that game number 1. At pumasok sa 5th set, nakita mo confident yung Creamline Cool Smashers. Panlimang 5th set, panalo lahat pagdating sa teritoryo nila. Parang naging playground na nila, Mela, itong 5th set. But not without resistance, and especially coming from this girl who was on fire and was very accurate. She had a spiking rate of 64.71%. Sa dulo, siya na nga lang halos ang humuhugot ng puntos, kaya lang nung napunta na siya sa likod, Mela, doon nagka-problema itong Cherry TIGGO in the 5th set.
Well, yun talaga yung naging edge ng Cherry TIGGO. You know, talagang na-maximize nila si Jaja yesterday and all throughout the match. Talagang the best that the Cool Smashers could do was hold their advantage kasi nakakalamang nga sila in the early parts of the sets. Pero in most rotations na si Jaja ay humaharap, talagang lumalamang din itong Cherry TIGGO, and even the attempt of CREAMLINE na mag-triple block against Jaja did not work. It's really the efficiency of Jaja Santiago as a spiker ang nanaig yesterday.
At sabi nga natin, almost 65% na hinampas kahapon, 22 of 34 as you saw the numbers. Now, let's listen to Jaja Santiago and her thoughts in this do-or-die game for them, game number 2.
First, inanalyze namin kung ano yung mga nagkulang sa amin sa game 1 kahapon. At the same time, ano yung mga kailangan i-improve pa namin this game. And yun nga, so after analyzing everything, nag-come out din kami na forget the game 1 and let's start again to game 2 kasi hindi pa naman tapos ang lahat. And kailangan talaga mentally prepared kami this game. And at the same time, kailangan talaga tulong-tulong kami sa lahat ng gagawin namin and sama-sama kami kahit anong mayari. For me, it's a dugo at pawis. Imbis na nasa bahay ka lang kasama yung family mo, nag-enjoy ka, spending time with your kusina pa, loved ones, ganyan. Nandito ka sa bubble training, binibigay mo lahat para makasama yung team mo para dun sa binubuo niyong pangarap.
Para kay Jaja at the rest of the Cherry TIGGO crossovers, this will be their 6th straight game after resting for 3 days prior to the last game of the elimination round, which they went against Choco Mucho, dire-diretso semis, dire-diretso finals. This is their 6th straight game. Para naman sa kanila, receiving will be key and certain players will be very, very crucial for them. Mela, unahin na natin si Shaya Adorador.
Well, for Shaya Adorador naman, siya yung second best support that Jaja got yesterday. Pangalawa kay Dindin Santiago Banabat, and she's almost had a triple-double game kasi she scored 9 points, pero bumawi rin siya doon sa digs at reception. She was the one who helped Buding Durendes on the floor, and at the same time, she managed to chip in 3 service aces for Cherry TIGGO, and yung mga aces niya na yon ay talagang very helpful in getting the momentum for them. And we can also see Buding Durendes on your screens. Medyo she started slow, no, boom, yesterday. Pero buti na lang towards the sets na napunta sa Cherry TIGGO, siya rin talaga yung naging crucial key para makuha nila yung mga sets na yon, because as we know, Jaja is such a high efficient spiker, so napakadali for her na umatake kapag kami nagli-lead talaga ng floor defense and reception ng Cherry TIGGO.
Inagaw na nga niya yung mga ibang pasa kahapon, yung mga ibang first ball kahapon, talking about Buding and pati na rin si Shaya who will be there receiving balls from CREAMLINE Cool Smashers who are loading their serves, including Eliza Valdez, who has done the same thing. Not only was she obviously successful in terms of the spiking, finishing off itong Cherry TIGGO in the 5th set, but even in terms of her serving, she's coming into the match with 17 aces, and that's why binabanggit natin si Buding at saka si Shaya and the rest to be solid. But when she is attacking, Mela, mahirap na talaga, lalo na sa 5th set. Parang alam niya talaga, playground niya yung 5th set, ano?
That's right. I actually tweeted last night na parang kapag pupunta ng 5-setter, si Eliza lang yung excited talaga. Nakikita mo iba yung aura niya. And you know, that speaks a lot kasi galing sila sa set na natalo sila, which is the 3rd and 4th set. So coming to the 5th set, the clutch player that she is, she was really the one who delivered for their team. And you know, she's been really carrying CREAMLINE's offense along with Gemma and Tots Carlos. Pero kahapon, ang tataas pa rin ng porsyento nila. And again, when we came to that 5th set, it was really an Eliza Valdez show.
And nasabi mo nga, si Gemma Galanza, who had a triple-double to support si Baldo in that game. As you saw, Valdez with 21 points, all in attacks. Pero si Gemma Galanza had 17 and 18. 17 points and 18 digs and 13 excellent receptions for her triple-double. And pakinggan natin what she has to say going into game number 2.
Sobrang happy kasi syempre sa elimination medyo hindi talaga consistent yung performance ko, but the semis and finals talagang sabi ko rin sa sarili ko na ayoko matapos yung season na hindi ko na-prove yung sarili ko and hindi ko nailabas yung training ko ng buong baboy. Sobrang memorable talaga itong finals na to kasi yung sacrifice namin, hindi namin nakasama yung family for almost 4 months. Talagang madami kami pinagdaanan ng team and talagang umiiyak kami every training. ang hirap gumising, pero alam mo yun, sobrang worth it kasi talagang na-push namin yung sarili namin and nagawa namin talaga yung best namin para mag-champion kami.
Kaya gustong-gusto na nila tapusin today para makapagsimula na sila ng kanilang bakasyon and go back to their loved ones. But it's not going to be easy. At ang isa sa mga mahihirapan din dyan, yung mga middles nila, Mela, kailangan overtime ang trabaho today for game number 2.
That's right. Yesterday kasi medyo yun yung part ng Creamline na medyo nag-struggle. Sila yung may mababang output. Talking about Sato, who was only able to score 1 point in the whole 5 sets, and si Janet Panaga naman 4 points. So, kumbaga, if they're going up against the tall and efficient Jaja Santiago, they're really gonna have to step up their middle game today.
Sato and the new acquisition na si Pangs Panaga was averaging almost 7 points coming into game number 2. How important naman ang mga setter natin dito ng connection ni Gia. Alam na natin yan, puring-puri na tayo. She's heard all of the praises. But Jasmine Nabor doing a better job in terms of her connection with Jaja in game number 1 and even in game number 3 nung semifinals nila. But it still wasn't enough. Pero sila yung magiging center ng offense, Mela.
Well, I think for the connection, nandyan na yan, no? Kasi si Jasmine naman, hindi na rin bago yung mga kasama niya. Matagal niya na rin nakakalaro yung mga kasama niya dito sa Cherry TIGGO. Even some of them traces back to their days at NU pa. Pero ngayon, ang magiging importante talaga is yung decision making. Kung gaano ba niya ma-maximize talaga yung mga tao niya because their team has the material. Actually, kung titignan mo, they're even as strong as Creamline on paper. Kumbaga, match-up-wise, talagang experience na din yung lineup nila. So, it's really a matter of maximizing their strengths, kung saan ba komportable talaga yung mga spikers niya. And yesterday, medyo mas mababa yung output niya kay Gia. But today, it's like I said, it's a new clean slate for everyone in this game. So, let's see kung ano yung mga connection, ano yung mga in-game decisions na gagawin ni Jasmine Nabor.
Two best attacking teams of the league with great attackers and great and capable setters. The center of the offense. Again, this is going to be the 6th game straight para dito sa Cherry TIGGO. Ang Creamline naman, 4 of their last 5 games have all been 5 setters. So pagdating dyan, Mela, wala ka naman sasabing mas pagod ito kaysa dito dahil parang that neutralizes each other, no?
Parang yung slot na meron sila ngayon sa finals ay talagang tinrabaho nila. You know, Cherry TIGGO played more games pero si Creamline naman really played harder and longer games. So masasabi mo talaga na they're really meant for this final series.
All right, let's go to the venue, the PCV Socio and Civic Center in Baccaray, Ilocos Norte. So our competition announcer, Noel Zarate, to get us going for game number 2 of the finals between the number 1 ranked Creamline Cool Smashers and the number 2 ranked Cherry TIGGO Crossovers.
now our national referees for Game 2. First referee, Erlindo Eusebio. Second referee, Joy de Imus. And now let's meet the starters first for the CREAMLINE Cool Smashers. Outside spiker from the Ateneo de Manila University, number 2, team captain Eliza Valdez. Middle blocker from the National University, number 5, Risa Sato. Middle blocker from the College of St. Benil, number 6, Jeanette Panaga. Center from Ateneo, number 12, Gia Morano. Outside spiker from Adamson University, number 15, Chema Galanza. Opposite hitter from the University of the Philippines, number 18, Tots Carlos. Starting liberal from the Far Eastern University, number 11, Kyla Atienza. And the head coach for CREAMLINE is Amazon Tai Bundit. And now the starters for the Cherry TIGGO Crossovers. Middle blocker from the National University, number 3, team captain Chacha Santiago. Center also from NU, number 4, Jasmine Namor. Middle blocker from the University of Santo Tomas, number 10, Micah Ortiz. Outside spiker from the University of the East, number 11, Shaya Adorador. Outside spiker, opposite hitter, from Perpetual Binyan, number 15, Elaine Marcila. Outside spiker from NU.
The starting lineup for the CREAMLINE Cool Smashers, who are trying to win it all today in Game 2. No changes there, as Carlos has really taken over that starting job para kay Coach Tai. Para naman kay Coach Aaron, Elaine Casilag will make the lineup today. And that is the change that we're seeing for this game number 2. Yes, he's the one who lost. He has to make a little bit of an adjustment. Mela, may napansin ka ba kung yung simula nung Cherry was it kasi very tight, ano? Medyo tight sila, no? Do you think may pagka-nerves yun ng konti?
Siguro naunahan lang talaga sila. Minsan kasi you're gonna come in the game ready, pero once the opponent really banked on the lead na, medyo doon ka na mapapaisip na may game ba ako ngayon? Okay ba yung ginagalaw ko ngayon? So there's another factor din, which is the mental factor. But yesterday we saw naman how they bounced back within the game. So,
Gia Morado, who comes into the match with 20 aces, will be testing again the receive of the CREAMLINE Cool Smashers, who are able to keep the first play alive. Shaya. Valdez gets the first score.
doon nga sa rally na yun, nakita agad natin yung effort ng CREAMLINE. It's just the first point, pero pinagpapaguran talaga nila. We thought that it was gonna be an easy point for Ortiz, but they were able to recover that ball and managed to score off the first point.
Dorador, sabi nga ni Mela kanina, muntik na mag-triple-double. Game number 1 as a service error to give Cherry its first point. The start, very important for them. Ayaw nila mabaon katulad nung game number 1. Siyempre, kahit na magaling ka, ayaw mo yung lagi ka naghahabol.
Yeah. It adds up dun sa pag yung nakaka-drain na feeling kapag ka naghahabol ka.
Carlos, we'll talk about her later on as Jaja Santiago will get her first point. Remember, Jaja coming into game number 2 with 205 total points. She's averaging almost 16 a game, coming off 25 points. And also 17 aces in the tournament para kay Chacha Santiago. Pinawian ni Tots Carlos.
The effort of Carlos really reflected in that sequence. Nakita natin, if we take a look at the spike of the set brought to you by Duncan, she was the one who actually received that ball. Niluhuran niya pa, and then mabilis tumayo agad at ends up with that powerful attack for CREAMLINE.
Gia reverses to Tots. Bumalik kay Tots. This is still alive, but they are not able to put it over. Cherry Tiggo with the lead. 3-2. Pero yun nga, proven na itong Cherry Tiggo sa paghahabol. Ginawa nila sa Choco Mucho. Only in terms of the sets. Ginawa nila sa serye nila. They were down 0-1. So we know that they are capable. Importante. Tingnan natin kung yung kanilang adjustment will be good enough as Casilag sends it wide.
Ito yung dapat iniwasan ng Cherry actually. Kasi nakita natin, kaya nila lumawang, especially when Judges Santiago's in front. You know, they could capitalize on her blocking skills, her attacks. Pero yung mga errors talaga because it also kills their momentum.
Errors. Big topic going into the finals for these two teams. Actually, sila yung mahilig talaga magkaroon ng maraming unforced errors. Although in the case of CREAMLINE, in the sets that they won yesterday, Mela, 1, 2, and 5, all in all, 11 lang yung errors nila dun sa mga pinanalo nilang set. Mas marami pa yung 15 yata, yung 3 and 4. Ganun karami yung errors nila in the sets that they lost.
And that's the reflection din ng mismong game. Kasi
Right.
whoever gets to minimize their errors can really take the game.
What's going on here? There's a violation that was called. So they're giving away the point.
I think they were trying to contest na wala silang narinig na
Na
free
whistle.
call. Right.
Interesting. Lindo Eusebio, our first referee. Puding. A pick-up by Gia. Inatid kay Gemma. Malapit sa net pero nandun ang coverage ni Ella. Tots. Mababa.
That was upward approach by Tots Carlos. So nakaharap sa kanan. Masyado niyang kinabig pakaliwa kaya mababa na yung clearance ng bola.
Chacha Santiago. Very high 65% success rate in game number 1. As a block by Micah Ortiz gives them a 2-point lead, 6-4 here in game number 2.
They're gonna need more effort from Micah Ortiz. We know that he's already a veteran. We know how much he could bring in the game. I guess it's just a matter of consistency in their previous matches. But scoring that block point, that block kill, could start good things for her and the whole Cherry Tiggo team.
Well, di ba magkausap tayo the night before game 1 on the show The Game. And you did say that Micah was going to be a keeper player.
Yeah, she was my X factor for Cherry Tiggo. Kasi the rest of the players have been very consistent in producing points, especially their wing spikers. Pero yung isang middle talaga, it's been shuffled between Ostero and Ortiz. Minsan si Casilag yung pinapresyo nila dyan. So, kumbaga masasabi ko, they are still not able to find the right person for that slot. So, until now, hinahanap pa rin nila yun.
Meantime, Liza is able to find the right spot there at the end line with that faster set.
Liza starting strong here in this game.
6-all. Gemma Galanza with a triple-double in game 1. Probably one of the best all-around players that they have there in the team as she picks up that one. Oh, setting error.
Sort of an ambitious attempt from Tots Carlos. She was already at the end line and she was trying to set all the way to the open slot to Eliza. Calling a double violation there, Tots Carlos.
Labor, the player of the game in game 3 of the semifinals. That catches the line.
He's gonna make up for that. And alam mo kahapon to rin yung body language ng CREAMLINE also set the tone of their game. Kasi nakita natin si Cherry Tiggo, whenever they lose a point, medyo nag-iiba agad yung timpla ng mga players eh.
Alam mo naman, ang CREAMLINE talaga. Yun ang kanilang mantra, di ba?
Good vibes.
Good vibes, happy kay Coach Tai. As Tintin Santiago has been spectacular since the semifinals or even the end of the elimination round. She gives them a 1-point lead, 8-7.
Known to have fifth set supremacy, the Creamline Cool Smashers huddled in and said to each other, kayang-kaya nating tapusin yung laban na to. Team captain Eliza Valdez, POG, yesterday with 21 points, said na as long as happy tayong maglaro, kakayanin natin to. Let's continue to fight, ika nga ni Atalay. They've gone through ups and downs, but together with the crossovers who sacrificed so much, ibibigay nilang lahat para Romena sa court ngayon.
You know, Mela, I've said it a few times already in the course of this tournament. At the start of the tournament, when Eliza Valdez talked to me, sabi niya, ang game plan niya, pick my spots, let the others flourish, let the others find their rhythm and their confidence in scoring, and then kung kailan siya kailangan, doon siya gagawa. And throughout the tournament, ganoon ang ginagawa niya. And the classic example was game number 1.
And I think that's the right thing to do naman, especially when GameLine have beefed up their lineup.
Yeah.
They really have a lot of high-quality players. Pero yun naman yung nagmamatter when they need her, talagang nagde-deliver.
Ganda ng dive ni Nabor. Dindin sends it over. Lamang ng dalawa ang Cherry Tiggo. Dindin keeps it up. Buding magsiset.
Linda Silag wasn't ready for that set.
Nakita ni Buding. Nabor. Balik kay Shaya. Delayed by the block. Gia will go back to Baldo. And this one will end up as a point for Cherry Tiggo. Micah Ortiz will be credited for that one. The X factor that Mela Tunay mentioned. Tatlong abante ang naghahabol dito sa serye. Cherry Tiggo and Coach Tai calls the timeout. Biggest lead of Cherry Tiggo in this game number 2.
Now, we could also see the respect of Coach Tai, no, na kahit early stretch pa lang nung first set, tatlo pa lang yung lamang. Kilala niya rin talaga yung capability ng Cherry Tiggo to lead on this game. So far, at this point of the game, it's really the blockings of Cherry Tiggo that has been a factor for them. Pero nakakadikit itong Creamline because on top of the scores that they produce, like that Tots Carlos backline attack, ang dami ring errors nitong Cherry Tiggo, even in the service line.
Yan ang aabangan natin. Those errors as full na ikot ang Creamline. Gia Morado back serving, but it is Micah Ortiz delivering here in the first set.
3 points already for Micah Ortiz, scoring of 2 blocks, and her third point, courtesy of that quick attack. And this is what you want to see. Sabi ko nga, I think if she delivers for Cherry, more than what she could bring to the table, it's really her leadership. Isa na siya sa mga pinaka-ate din, and iba rin kapag ka nadadala mo, especially in a high-pressure game like this one. Pero on the other hand, ito naman, gitna rin ng Creamline, gumagana rin para sa pupunan nila, and yun nga yung naging missing link naman nila sa last game. Good thing, last game, yung mga wing spikers nila were strong enough, were enough to carry them in that game.
Good serve by Eliza. Gia. And Calanza will score. That 3-point lead is gone. It's down to 1. Panaga continues to shimmy in the game.
Then Magalanza using the hands of her blockers. Kasi it's not an easy job kung pipilitin mong palusutin kay Jaja Santiago and Elaine Casilag, 2 very tall players. So, no Gemma, the smart player that she is, off the block na lang.
Another overpass misreceived by Shaya Dorador. As we mentioned, that will be point of emphasis para dito sa Cherry Tiggo. Receiving and digging.
Even Adorador, who's had a lot of excellent receptions last game, could not even handle that Valdez service ace.
As a team, Nella, going into the playoffs, which means the semifinals and the finals, dead last. Itong Cherry Tigo in receptions, talagang that's the targeted weakness of the team. Everybody knows it. Ito, Jaja Santiago with that hang time.
Takes
It's
one
triple
triple
block.
block.
Tinala sa likod with that touch. Reclaiming the lead, 12-11. Casilag, who starts today for Maylin Pa.
Good coverage there by Atienza.
Take advantage of Jaja there. And she scores 2 straight.
That one was actually a check na pwedeng makuha, no? Pero nagkaroon ng miscommunication between defenders at the back. Nauna lumuhod.
13 serving 11. Atienza. Carlos puts it away.
You could see from the swing pa lang, meron na talagang 90% chance na maging puntos yun. You take a look at this replay. Sobrang taas ng contact ni Tots Carlos on the ball. That's why kahit sino ilagay mo sa harapan niya, she managed to score off a lot of points from her attacks.
Shaya. Siyang nag-receive, siya umatake. At na-blanca. 13 all for the Creamline Cool Smashers.
Actually, for both teams, okay yung gana ng blocking sila, no? So,
So far.
I think ngayon magkakatalo na lang din who's able to cover better. Kasi dapat naman talaga yung volleyball hindi nagtatapos kapag na-block ka na. There's another line of defense for that para maka-counter-attack kayo. And so far, Creamline leading on that aspect. Ang dami na nilang na-block na bola pero na-nila.
Oh, baby did Shaya Adorador, and this 3-point lead is now gone, and the lead is with Creamline 14-13.
The rest of the Cherry Tigo crossovers trying to console and cheer up Shaya Adorador. She's had a couple of errors early on in this set.
Ready to receive. At pinalik na naman kay Shaya. And it's another misreceived pass. Buti na lang. Jaja Santiago is there to save that play to tie the match at 14.
Jaja Santiago clearly having the advantage over Risa Sato as we take a look at this spike of the set brought to you by Duncan. One blocker. 3 blockers won't work on Jaja. All the more kung isa lang yung sumabay sa kanya. I think one of the strategies also of Creamline is to target Adorador kasi isa siya sa mga naging threat last game. Para yung atensyon nila mabalik na lang din sa Santiago Sisters kapag ka umatake. Because clearly siya is affected as we saw her body language. So her teammates tried to cheer her up.
That's Carlos. Caloy is back serving. That is out.
So far, none of the teams taking a big lead here. We've seen a couple of exchanges all throughout the set. Now we're tied at 15 all.
Very different from the first set of game number 1. Nakatikim ng finals dito sa PVL. Itong Cherry Tigo, I expect talaga a better game from them now that they know how it feels. Here in the PVL at least. That's a lift. Will be called on Sato or a double contact yata ang tinawag kay Chia Morado. So naman ka naman ang Cherry Tigo.
So starting for the crossovers,
Jaja Santiago will continue to serve para dito sa Cherry Tigre. You're watching us on One Sports and One Sports Plus. Good afternoon, Philippines, and wherever you are catching us, whatever platform that you are using and watching us, even sa mga replays, magandang araw po sa inyong lahat as Jaja Santiago fires ace number 18.
Jaja Santiago really doing anything she can to help the team. Expected natin na yung mga putos pag nasa harapan lang siya. But now, she scored back-to-back aces for the crossover.
Now this is big because they were out-aced in game number 1. Out-aced by Choco Mucho in game number 1 of the semifinals also. Tapos bumawi sila sa game number 2. So we're seeing a little bit of a pattern here for Cherry Tiggo as they now come up with another 3-point lead.
Andun tayo ha, yung isa't isa tutulong tayo basta umangat yung bola. Adjust lang tayo ng adjust, ha?
I heard Eliza Valdez taking over that timeout. I think I heard her saying na basta maangat lang natin yung bola. And you know, if you have spikers naman na Gemma Galante, Eliza Valdez, and Tots Carlos, you wouldn't really need mga special plays for them to get points. Basta makaangat lang sila ng bola, makareceive lang sila.
Gemma gets it back and puts it away. Pangalawang timeout na ni Coach Tay yun.
Yes, ubus na yung timeout niya. And Naninagurado. So far, the players responding well, courtesy of Gemma Galante for the kill.
17 points, 18 digs, 13 excellent receives para kay Gemma Galanza, PVL MVP. Jasmine, nandun si Ella De Jesus. Shaya. Maika, gumulong pa kabila.
Medyo may tulong ng net, medyo may pagkaswerte, but nonetheless, Maika Ortiz definitely is in this game. She's making her presence felt here through her blocks, through her attacks.
And games 2 and 3 of the semifinals and game 1 yesterday, pag linabas na si Maika para kay Rachel Ostero, hindi na siya nakakabalik. So, importante nga dito, sabi ni Mela, na gumawa siya. Ganda naman.
And then the defense of CREAMLINE.
It's Atienza responsible for the pancake, but guess what? Maika Ortiz hammering it down. 4-point lead.
Definitely feeling it in this game 2 of the finals. And you can really hear her asking for the ball from Nabor. And I think it's also part of the game plan kasi nga at this point, palapit na tayo ng net game, nasa 20 na yung score. We are yet to see the difference na ina-attempt gawin ng middles naman ng CREAMLINE. Still no points from Sato. As we see, Pao Soriano
First
being
time
put in this game, yes.
First time in the finals.
That's right.
Pinalikan na naman si Maika, and Maika continues to swing away. And a biggest lead for the Cherry Tiggo crossovers at 5.
Maika Ortiz really giving and making the difference here for the Cherry Tiggo crossovers. We could definitely say this is not just a Jaja Santiago show if Maika Ortiz continues to move as she's doing now.
Ito na yung mga veterano eh. It's a good serve.
Yan naman yung aasahan mo talaga kapag big games na, no?
Then Casilag, the starter for today, also helping out.
Ortiz, 5 points already.
Naalala ko nga nung college, when she was in college, and I said, di na papagod to si Maika, no? After maka-block or maka-running, tumatakbo pa sa court eh. Di ba yan ang kanyang parang trademark, ano, Bella?
Yun yung sipag din talaga na hanapin mo sa mga middle. Especially sila talaga yung nag-move left and right, dulo-dulo ng court. And isa sa mga signature attack ni Mike Ortiz as we take a look at that regalo na talagang capitalize ni Mike Ortiz. Siya talaga yung puntos ngayon for Cherry Tiggo. And
6 puntos.
going back dun sa sinasabi ko kanina, no, isa sa signature move niya talaga is yung running hit. Tapos ang sipag pa, magbablock pa ulit dun sa opposite side of the court.
Luck running out in that attack. 23-17, the run finally ends. That is the biggest lead. Cherry Tiggo at 23-16 as the former Adamson standout, Pao Soriano, and her appearance here in the finals. 6-point deficit, nalunod si Casilag.
That's the second miss set between Casilag and Nabor. Hindi pa sila nagtatagpo in this game so far.
Nila, maniniguro si Coach Velez and will call a timeout as Creamline scores 2 straight points. Cherry Tiggo looking good here in set number 1, feeling good too, judging from that the smiles in that timeout. As Kyle Negrito and Mitch Kumabao will check in.
Creamline's gonna have a full front line here with Kumabao in front. One of the better blockers for Creamline.
Nabor. This time goes to Din Din, and Din Din, who has been very consistent, 19 points in the semifinals, 17 in Game 2, 16 in Game 3, and then 19 again in Game 1. This resurgence. Din Din Manabat na nakausap natin 2 nights ago. Antok na, kinakausap pa natin.
At least makita natin yung energy talaga.
Oo.
Well reserved.
Set point. Shaya. And Cherry Tiggo takes first set of game number 2 of the finals for your Premier Volleyball League. You're watching us live on One Sports and One Sports Plus. Cherry Tiggo taking set number 1 and taking it convincingly, Mela, over the Creamline Cool Smashers. How did they do this?
Well, all throughout that set, talagang nagbangko sila ng lamang. So, yun nga yung pinag-uusapan natin na pressure maghabol. Hindi nila yan naramdaman because it was Creamline who was trying to keep up the whole set. And nakita rin natin na it wasn't just a one-man show for Jaja Santiago. That set, she's had a lot of support from Micah Ortiz, and then nag-chip in pa sila din Santiago Manabat. So it was definitely a good start for the Cherry Tiggo crossovers.
As we will check out the numbers here. A matchup brought to you by Rebisco.
Well, Cherry Tiggo obviously dominating all departments, no? 13 attacks compared to just 9 of CREAMLINE. So uncharacteristic of CREAMLINE because they have a lot of good attackers on their side.
Tama.
And then yung blocks naman din, maximize din itong Cherry. Even the service aces and unforced errors, mas marami din ginawa yung CREAMLINE in that set.
I-reiterate ko lang yung sinabi ko kanina in the sets that they won, talking about CREAMLINE in game number 1, which was 1, 2, and 5, they only had 11 total errors. First set, 7 errors. So that's always an indication, or often an indication, para dito sa CREAMLINE Cool Smashers when they win or lose a set. Set number 1's done. Nakauna dito ang Cherry TIGGO. They have a little more confidence. They have a cushion. Bago tayo magsimula dito sa second set, Mel, I was thinking about this morning. Whether manalo ka or talo ka, no? Especially if natalo ka in game number 1, usually, normal setup, whether UAP or PVL, normal setup is, may dalawang araw, isang araw na to watch the tape,
mag-aral.
Paano kaya nangyari niyan na ganyan para sa Cherry TIGGO na natalo, tapos 24 hours back to the court na? What do you think happens in a setup like that?
Well, I think yung yung goal lang talaga na kailangan mo mag-bounce back agad kasi lalo na sila, inakyat talaga nila yung position nila dito. They've had more games as compared to CREAMLINE. So, kumbaga, yung balik na lang ng lahat ng pagod mo, they want to make it count. Kaya, kumbaga, wala rin talagang silang choice. I think when we talk to Jaja and Dindin also, they mentioned na nung natalo sila nung game 1 sa semifinals, yun din yung nangyari na wala silang choice kundi mag-bounce back. So, it's still a mental game for them. And so far, looking at the scoreboard, we have leading for Cherry TIGGO, Ortiz with 6 points and Jaja Santiago with also 6 points. And then on the other side naman, we have the 3 top scorers for them, Carlos 5 points and Valdez and Galanza with 3 points respectively.
So CREAMLINE now will play catch-up here as they're down a set, but they're up by 1. Watching us on One Sports and One Sports Plus, Boone Gonzalez, Mela Tunay, and Ai Tinsay, who's there in Ilocos Norte, reporting for game number 2. Elaine Casula, who replaced Maylene Paat sa starting lineup.
Finally, nagtagpo na sila nila Moore in this double quick. And yun naman yung kagandahan. There are a lot of plays you could do with Casilag because she plays multiple positions. Pero times, like I told you off air nga, nagiging disadvantage din kasi kanina, nagkadalawang mistiming siya doon sa sets ni Nabor.
Pick up by Casilag. Shaya. Dindin was there for coverage. Casilag sa kabila, hinabol ng blockers. Atienza dives. That is in.
An angle by Gemma Galanza, really maximizing that there's no libero on the floor. Dindin Santiago medyo papunta na sa gitna. As we take a look at this spike of the set brought to you by Duncan.
What an extension. What a flip by Gemma Galanza. What a strut too.
Well, bragging rights talaga because not even Jaja Santiago walang konting touch on that.
Overpass. Sets up Sato for the quick.
Finally, Lisa Sato joining the scoreboard for the Cool Smashers. She's only had 1 point in their game 1 against Cherry TIGGO. So now, I'm sure she's gonna have more confidence here in this game as another spike of the set brought to you by Duncan.
Usually averages 6.5 points at least going into this game number 2, talking about Sato. Casilag na naman. Oh, mababa. And this is now a 3-point lead.
Casilag needs to find a bit of consistency when it comes to her attack.
Time out muna si Coach Aaron. Balik tayo sa action dito for the Premier Volleyball League as the search for the first ever champion of the professional ranks is still ongoing. Will it end today? The question that we're going to try to answer. And that timeout did nothing for TIGGO as CREAMLINE has a 4-point lead right now.
Again, ito na naman yung nagiging Waterloo ng TIGGO. Dalawang magkasunod na overball yung nakita natin from them. And even in the past games, ganito yung nangyayari na resulta, no? Laki ng nilalamang ng CREAMLINE whenever they get problems in that area.
Din. Uy, nahabol pala. Ni Eliza yun. But they couldn't get it over. As Din Santiago will score on that same one streak. Serving 6.
Effort there by Eliza Valdez. It's really nice to see that she's really improved a lot when it comes to her defense, no? Before, it's really galanza kapag parang second libero on the court. Pero ngayon, talagang sumasabay na din sa floor defense itong si Eliza.
Carlos with that tough angle. Puts it away.
That was a tough hit to do. Kasi kay Jaja Santiago niya babaan instead of choosing Adorador. But may pagka-delayed din yung pagdikit ni Jaja kay Shaya. And we have to credit also Gia Morado for that set. Napakagat muna si Jaja sa gitna bago mag-block kay Carlos. Ito rin yung kagandaan talaga kay Jaja. She really has a big chance na makabawi agad. And she's really way above the blockers.
4-7. She's above everybody else actually when she jumps. Shaya serves. A little bit of an overpass also, and that will be... Oh.
The coverage of CREAMLINE.
Wow. Ito, sinigurado na ni Jaja. Good effort by CREAMLINE, but just could not cover Jaja Santiago.
Then everyone is scrambling. Kakatayo lang yung ibang players nila. Si Jaja, again, above 3 sa Sato.
Cut the lead down to 2. 2 straight points. The biggest lead in the set was 4 for CREAMLINE. Pinawian ni Galanza in one of her favorite attacks. Cutting it to the right side from the left pin. 8-5 ang ating talaan.
Jasmine Nabor with 28 excellent sets last game told me na masaya sila dahil matagal nang inaasam ng TIGGO crossovers na makatungtong sa finals, and now na nakamit nila, parang worth it daw ang lahat ng kanilang sakripisyo. And para daw sa game na to, kailangan lang nila i-regain ang kanilang composure at kumpiyansa sa sarili dahil umangat naman ang sets nila last game. Will they continue to put the cherry up? Let's find out.
Gemma Galanza will serve for CREAMLINE, who are ahead 8-5. Biggest lead was 4 here in set 2. And
Wala pa daw pito. There's an issue with the whistle in this game.
Today,
Kanina naman si Shaya, napito na daw, hindi niya naman narinig.
masakit naman yung kay Shaya dahil nabigyan ng puntos yung kabila. Better job really today by Puding. And this is why Dindin and Jaja have been feasting on the net, or at the net rather.
Noticeable improvement in the game of Durendes, and she's really highly needed in this game dahil nga ito yung mga magandang nangyayari whenever she really takes charge on receiving and digging for their team.
She's number 4 in receiving and number 3 in digging of all the players remaining in the playoffs. That includes Petrogas and Choco Mucho. And congratulations nga pala, Bella, dun sa mga fans at sa kupunan ng Petrogas Angels for winning the bronze medal earlier today. But congratulations also are in order for Choco Mucho for the effort and the kind of play that they had throughout the tournament. At isama na rin natin the rest of the 6 teams that made this PVL this year possible now.
That's right. And apart from congratulating
Choc,
the rest of the teams, oo.
Pagdasal din natin, of course, si Maddie Madayag.
He was covering that team yesterday at today at talaga kapanghina. And that's also one thing we're wishing here na maliban sa quality ng laro, sa quality ng palo nila Liza, like what we just saw, ay maging maingat din yung game. That's right.
Stay healthy and injury-free. Yan ang nakakapanghina rin, yung mga palo ni Eliza Valdez na hindi naibalik ni Shaya Dorador. The lead is back to 4. Make that 3. As Dindin Santiago Manaban drills one home.
First set was Jaja and Micah show, but in this second set, Dindin really pounding on those balls, making the damage here for Cherry Tigo. Gia making more efforts here and activating their middles. We've seen a couple of points.
Dindin keeps it alive.
Successful attempts from Risa Sato earlier. And ngayon naman, Eliza Valdez with that block kill against Elaine Casilag.
So it's the 5-point lead now. Casilag is shut by Eliza Valdez.
Ganda ng block na yun, Boom, kasi yung iba, pinapatama lang sa kamay nila. But in that replay, we saw na kinlip ni Eliza yung kamay niya when the ball contacted her hand.
Bumawi, pero nandun si De Jesus. This time, Roof. What an impact for Micah Ortiz here in this game.
Nice to see her picking up her game.
Pero si Dindin pala will be credited for that.
Pero yung effort, no, nasarado yung block. It will be very frustrating also for Eliza na maghanap ng other options kung saan pupunta.
Thoughts will flip it over. Buding, balik kay Shaya. Shaya recoils. Buding, Casilag, bumalik sa Cherry Tigo. Gia. Shema. And a chance ball here for the white shirts. Ang baba. Carlos. That's low. Not over. Carlos who's coming off a game where she hit 57% success rate in game number 1 on those 22 kills.
So, sumobra sa pihit si Tots Carlos doon. Pero on the other hand, sa side naman ng Cherry, Shaya Adorador still yet to find her groove here. She's had a couple of attempts with her attacks, but I don't think she was able to convert. Pero ito, another error.
Sails out. 4-point lead. Valdez back serving. Valdez coming off a 21-point output on 48% in terms of her spiking accuracy yesterday. Dindin. Inabangga, no double CREAMLINE. And it is back to 5. That's why Coach Aaron will call another timeout. Trying to extend this series to a winner-take-all tomorrow.
Sema Magalanza really exerting a lot of efforts.
No
Diba?
entry.
Atake niya, depensa niya, and now even in blockings. We heard Coach Aaron also giving instructions to siya. Dahil nga, nagkakaroon siya ng struggle when it comes to her attacks. As we saw another unforced error there from Adorador. Tinuturuan siya ni Coach Aaron na padaanin sa kamay, pa-check out or padaanin sa forearm ng mga blockers niya.
Yan ang pinakamalaking abante dito sa second set para sa Creamline. 15-9. Now down to 5. After Eliza Valdez's 32nd service error of the tournament. If there's any chink in the armor of Eliza this tournament, it's those service errors. Pero she makes up for it in so many ways for Creamline. Tots Carlos scoring on the off speed. Second technical timeout. Creamline ahead by 6. Creamline re-establishing a 6-point lead, 16-10. Creamline re-establishing a 6-point lead, 16-10 right now. As Bang serves us up here for this rally.
Good defense there by Gia.
Somebody touched the net, and it is Shaya Adorador. 7-point lead.
Shaya Adorador has been having a lot of struggles in this game. And so far, the game plan of Creamline to eliminate one of their steadiest contributors in last game. Medyo gumagana, no? Nakikita natin, napapansin natin si Shaya medyo out of this game na that she's able to pick up her game.
Or if Coach Aaron's going to somehow find somebody. In the meantime, ganda ng pagkalihis ng palo ni Jaja Santiago, who really rarely attacks straight.
Pero very smart of Jaja also to acknowledge yung blockers na nasa harap niya.
Carlos again.
But Carlos though, not looking like he has any blocker on that attack.
Let's look at that again as you see the swing from the right pin.
Kita natin, lagpas na yung ulo ni Kaloy din sa tape ng net. Tapos mataas pa yung contact. Ang lakas pa pumalo. Full approach, full swing.
So Tots Carlos here.
So much
Who,
talent.
I don't know if you noticed that she...
Hindi sila. Kaya hindi na ano yun. Ikaw lang.
I don't know if you noticed that she whispers when she's serving. Si Tots Carlos, every time she goes back to the service line. Mamaya, pag nakita natin ulit, na may binubulong.
Binubul.
Yeah. Every time she goes to serve. Right now, they're serving 18-11.
Every player has their own routine.
Yes, routine, ritual, superstition even. Oh, Santiago.
Again, smart of Jaja of Jasmine the board to capitalize on Jaja Santiago. She knows na Jaja Santiago has a clear advantage over Risa Sato.
6-point still. Biggest 7. Cherry though with a 1-set-to-love lead. Gemma asks for it back.
Good recovery from Cherry.
But this time, a little too low para kay Tots.
The defense and recovery of Cherry TIGGO, talagang worth it yung effort nila to recover that ball.
Ito yung kanilang spark plug na si
Yes,
Ostero.
sir.
And even in the semifinals against Chocomucho in games 2 and 3. Pero dahil ang ganda ng nilalaro ni Ortiz, hindi mo na ginagamit si Ostero. Nice combination play there.
And Magalanza's been going to that spot over and over. Kanina I mentioned she was maximizing that it was Dindin Santiago na nandun at walang libero. But this time, even Budik Duremdes could not get to that one. So much angle. Let me see the swag from Jem Magalanza.
Galanza, Tots, Carlos, and Eliza Valdez making up 62% of the scoring and attacking of this Creamline Pool Smashers team. As I mentioned, kung hindi si Gemma, na ang kanyang ka-diagonal naman, Eliza Valdez naman. So now the lead back to 7.
Maganda rin ang ginawa dito ng Creamline kasi they were able to check Jaja Santiago. Hindi na nila tinry na i-kill block. Kumbaga, chinek na lang nila. A touch was enough for them to do a counter-attack. And minsan kasi yun na lang din yung kailangan mo if you have a very tall player na mataas yung contact. Hindi mo talaga masasabayan na mapapayungan mo. So at least the better way for you to be able to set up a play on your side is to at least get contact na parang matouch mo lang yung bola. Oo.
Karoon lang ng konting pag-asa makaset up ng play. In the meantime, Jaja's back. Service line. That's sailing out.
Going Creamline's way here in the second set. Cherry naman yung catch up all throughout the set.
Pagka nalalamangan ng Cherry, nahalata mo sa body language nila, no, Mela? As opposed to Creamline, na parang they try their very best to maintain a certain kind of disposition. Yung Cherry, pag lamang, kitang-kita mo lamang. Pagka naghahabol or dehado, kita mo rin sa kanilang facial expressions and body language.
Well, still, tinatry pa rin nila to make up in the game as we saw that Dindin Santiago manabat hit. Pero, yun, talking about body language kasi para sa mga athletes, para sa mga naglalaro, alam nila na it plays a big factor, no? Siguro sa mga viewers natin kung ano lang yung mga technicalities of the game. But really, when you're playing, alam mo na when your body language is down, it's either pati yung laro mo bababa or makakadamay ka, kumbaga makakahawa yung energy mo na gano'n instead of just trying to lift everybody up.
That's why you have to try to stay positive. But as you know, Bella, as an athlete, it's also easier said than done.
That's right. Lalo na kapag doon ka sa malaki talaga yung lamang, kagaya ni Creamline. 2 points away from taking this set.
Giselle C will come in, who also had an impact in game number 1.
Trying to mix it up for the crossover, trying to change the tempo of the game for their team.
Former starter, si Yan Layo, 23-15.
Medyo malayo yung set na yun.
Umatlit na lang si Dindin. Good dig there by Shia.
Even yung setup job ngayon hindi maayos ng Cherry TIGGO.
And Tots will take advantage.
This is what happens when you give a free ball to Creamline. They have a full front line here. Choosing Tots Carlos and going way above the duo of Layug and Michael Ortiz.
Full front line of Panaga, Valdez, and Carlos. Set point number 1, first of 9. Dindin ad-libbing. Valdez sent back, saving 1 set point.
Yun naman yung mahirap kapag yung set ay tingin tapos malalaki yung blockers mo kasi kaya ka nilang unahan sa pagkuha ng bola.
One of set point save. Gia. Error. Setting error.
It's either a setting error or he touched the net.
Kiss.
Oo.
It's a 2 set point save. And Cherry TIGGO gives away the second set via a service error. Game number 2 is tied at 1-all. We're back with you for more of the live and exclusive coverage of the finals between Cherry TIGGO Crossovers and the CREAMLINE Cool Smashers. This is game number 2, and we are about to begin set number 3. But before we do that, binalikan ng CREAMLINE Cool Smashers in almost the same way. Etong Cherry TIGGO winning 25-18 in the first set, then losing 17-25 in the second set.
So far, boom yung nagiging pattern for both these teams. Kung sino yung nakakalamang, hindi na nakahabol. And, CREAMLINE did not do anything fancy. They were just doing basic plays. But they were so organized on their side na they were able to do counter-attacks talaga against Cherry TIGGO. As we take a look, kanina, lihada sila sa atake, but now leading the department 15 attacks compared to just 11 of Cherry TIGGO, and equalizing on the blocks. Walang naka-service ace, but there's a big disparity in the unforced errors. Cherry TIGGO doubling up on the 4 unforced errors of CREAMLINE.
Joy Dacoron will make her first appearance here in the finals, and it comes in the third set of game number 2. Melas, what do you think is the adjustment here for Coach Aaron Velez?
Well, kailangan na rin talaga mag-shuffle kasi we saw a couple of players na medyo na-affect na ng mga struggles nila in-game. As we take a look also at the leading scorers for both teams. Santiago with 10 points. Kasama na dyan yung kanyang ate, Dindim Manabat with 10 points. And Carlos also with 10 points for CREAMLINE, while Valdez with 9.
Make that 11 for Tots Carlos now. 1-0, set number 3. So Joy Dacoron, who also was a player of the game early in the tournament.
Yan ang susubukin ni Coach Aaron ngayon kung mapapakita niya yun dito. Sometimes it's just a matter of gambling na lang din eh. Kasi andito ka na sa final stretch eh. Alam mo yun, you have all the players to experiment on kung kasi iba-iba yung strengths nila eh.
Importante dito para sa Cherry. Katulad ng set number 2, hindi sila magpaiwan.
Like yung Creamline, very noticeable in the first set kapag ka medyo lumalaki yung lamang timeout agad. And it was also a gamble for Coach Tai na kahit maaga pa lang ng mga set, nagta-timeout na siya to cut momentum.
Then Santiago, amidst a triple block, finds a crack in that wall and puts it away. Then Santiago, yesterday, as you mentioned, 19 points. Mababa yung percentage niya in terms of her attacking at 35%. Lower than usual for her, pero still 19 points. And another ace para kay Dindin and for Dindin.
Naga out of position for that ball.
That's ace number 21, by the way, for the tournament. Para sa the elder, or the older Dindin, Santiago Manalo. Lakas nung hampas. What a massive swing from Kaloy.
Even yesterday, sa mga pano niya, no, kahit na ma-check siya, talagang the ball's gonna sail out. She's using power.
Lilipad eh. What a luxury for Eliza Valdez now at this part of her career to have, you know, players like Gananza and Carlos coming into their own. As a service error. 33rd for Eliza Valdez. 3-0. Nakuron. Serving.
Better pass for Atienza.
Sinangkit ni Jaja. Means chance ball para sa Creamline. Gia will open. Galanza down the line.
Jeff Galanza changing it up a little here. Kanina puro cross court during the second set. And it's also smart of her dahil si Jaja kasi yung mahabol sa kanya doon.
Nobody home. Zone 1.
Such a creative player. A powerful player at that.
This one sails out for all for the new acquisition. Creamline, Lance Manalo. May Casino, the starter for today. Ready to defend. Gia and Lisa Sato. That's out. They're looking for a check, and they are given a check ball.
Santiago admitting to the check ball.
Tots Carlos back at the service deck. 5 to score. 5-4 is the score.
No blockers there for Gemma Galanza. Make something out of nothing for Creamline here. Medyo sobra na yung set. Kaya even the blockers of Cherry TIGGO did not expect na she was gonna hit that one. Akala nila itatawid na lang.
There. Yung binubulong ni Tots Carlos. She says, body straight, arm up, throw front, and 50% power. Yun ang rin-recite niya.
Reminding herself mo.
Yes.
And you gotta love players na kumbaga very coachable and they take markers for them to improve.
She credits Coach Carlos Santos for that. Kasi nga, di ba, coming from a jump serve si Tots Carlos dati. So ngayon, yan ang binubulong niya daw lagi. Body straight, arm up, throw front, and 50% power. Yung 50% niya, mela eh.
Coaching herself, no?
Every time you see Tots Carlos doon sa service line, parang bumubulong. Yan po, sinasabi niya. In the meantime, another good server, Shaya Adorador, back serving for Cherry at 6-all. She's number 3 in that department among these superstars who are left playing in the PVL.
Shaya Dorador walang binubulong, but she managed to score a lot of ace for TIGGO, even scoring 3 aces in their last game.
6-all. Still alive, still legal. Back by Shaya. Kalansa na naman. This time, double block. Over.
So, sumobra yung pagkakaset na yan ni Atienza kasi she's been moving around the court din. So, hindi niya rin siguro natansya yung kanyang set. But you gotta love the effort of CREAMLINE also kasi we mentioned about the importance of coverage in this game. Both teams really having a good day when it comes to their blocking. So, yung nagiging difference sa mga teams ay yung kanilang coverage. And we saw na ang daming nagawa doon ng CREAMLINE na coverage.
Back row attack by Eliza. This time, si Tots naman. Shaya was there. And that's out. Double block on Jaja Santiago. Jerry, TIGGO, this time doing better at the start of set number 3 with a 2-point lead, 8-6.
Gemma Galanza of the CREAMLINE Cool Smashers scoring 17 points last game said hindi siya uuwi ng confidence ito nang hindi niya maibibigay ang kanyang best. Unsatisfied with her mid-season, pinush niya ang kanyang sarili for her individual growth and of course for her team. Ayon kay Gemma, para daw to sa mga pamilya ng CREAMLINE Cool Smashers ang kanilang championship dahil hindi nila nakasama sila ng 4 months. Kaya bumalik tayo to see if they will continue their happy strides.
Salamat ay 2 straight points after Shaya has been providing such heavy serves. Mela, dun siya bumabawi sa service line. Napilitan si Coach Tai. Tumawag ng timeout. Biggest lead of 7.
Not online, yeah. Alright, one good. Haba pa yan. Let's go.
Shaya with some loaded serves. Well, like I said, she's number 3 in that department, coming into game number 2 with 19 aces. Si Shaya Dorador.
Kanina we were interested to see if she's able to pick up her game here. We saw how frustrated she was, but I'm sure this is going to give her a confidence boost after scoring off a couple of aces.
Another block and another point. Jenny TIGGO, 5-point lead.
It was a tough angle for Isa Sato. Nakita natin kakapigin niya pa zone 1, but Jaja Santiago was her blocker on that angle.
Not an easy opponent there at the net. Shaya again goes to Eliza this time. Another free ball. Why not?
Again, over and over, Jaja Santiago on top of her blockers. And you know what, ang kagandahan kasi kay Jaja, hindi niya binabaon yung palo eh. Kumbaga, hinahaba niya, targeting towards the end line. Kasi kapag binaon niya yan, there's a tendency na matouch pa rin ng mga blockers. So,
Kasi yung trajectory ng bola.
oo.
Thinking. That's what she is. That's the 20th ace para kay Shaya in the tournament. And matagal-tagal na siya. Nandyan sa service line natin. Diyan siya pumabawi. Kanina, ako ang binibigyan yun ng mga loaded serve. Ha?
Yeah, he was the one targeted in the second set.
But very good for her confidence ito.
And hindi lahat nakakabalik kapag nagkaroon na ng slump sa game. Kanina we were talking about her body language,
Yes.
yung mata niya, yung itsura niya, medyo sobrang down na, no? But it's nice of her and talagang dyan din pumapasok yung pagka-professional ng mga players na hindi pwedeng wala ka lang laro, di ba? Na talagang you're gonna do your best to try to pick up your game as the game goes on.
Tsaka Mela, sa totoo lang, wala nang next game eh. In their case, di ba? Wala na silang next game eh. So, kung babawi ka, kailangan mabilis.
This time around, we see the double substitution for the Cool Smashers. Maagang pinasok. Usually, end game, pinapasok ni Coach tayo itong si Negrito at Gumabaw.
Balik kay Dindin. Faster set, but hindi bumitaw ang block ni Sato in Gumabaw.
Nagbunga agad yung substitution ni Coach tayo dito. As we know, Michelle Gumabaw, one of the better blockers for CREAMLINE.
Jaja was also getting ready on the reverse set, did not get the ball. So the lead cut down to 5.
Better pass also for
Shaya.
Oo. And this is what happens when you have Jaja Santiago in the front line at maganda yung reception nyo. Kasi keep saying talaga maabot itong si Jaja. So you really have to, again, capitalize yung presence niya sa harap.
She goes back to serve with a 6-point cushion. Liza, single blocker, nahuli pa.
Kita-kita natin, nakasalo na yung block doon ni Nabor.
Perfect set, sabi ni Eliza. Kay Kyle, fast, perfect strike zone, and the perfect swing.
Yung landing nung middle blocker ng Cherry Tiggo. Si Dakoro nasa likod na ni Nabor eh.
Dindin naman. Ang umiscore para si Cherry Tiggo, 59. Love the attitude of Dindin Santiago, really. Even in the losses para sa kanila yesterday or in game number 1 in the semifinals. Nabor sends it over. Michelle gets a score.
Quality minutes for Michelle Gumabaw.
One block, one spike. After the double substitution, does her role. And then we'll move to the bench for Carlos Negrito. Back to the bench, and Gia will serve here.
Sometimes you see a lot of comments also, no, na bakit nilabas si ganito, kakascore lang niya. So, usually po yung mga double substitution talaga, they use that to maximize the full front line at pati yung attackers. But when the original starters ay hiikot na, talking about Tots Carlos, tapos si Gia Morada magsaserve, lalabas na talaga yung double sub sa kanila.
Meantime, an attacking error from Elaine Casilag. A little far from her strike zone. But not over. Oh, for the first time.
That attempt.
We're gonna see Maylene Paat, the usual starter for Cherry Tiggo.
And the 2-point output yesterday.
Oh. Nice recovery there. Still alive. Pinuntaan si Tacoron on the run and gun. So the Adamson players are showing up here in this game number 2. 5-point lead para sa Cherry Tiggo. This is game number 3 of the finals between Cherry TIGGO and CREAMLINE Cool Smashers. Cherry TIGGO ahead by 5. Puting has been so good for Coach Aaron Velez today. Carlos ulit. Bumalik sa CREAMLINE. And a rejection. And what about the bench players of Cherry TIGGO delivering here? Maylin Pad, well, Joy Dacoron kanina.
If there's a time for them to step up, ito na talaga yun, do or die for Cherry TIGGO.
Maylin Pad will be credited for that one. 6-point lead again. Chance ball. Sino pupuntahan ni Nabor? Si Dacoron ulit.
I think Joy Dacoron has already scored 3 points for Cherry TIGGO.
On running plays, ano?
Then sa mga forte attacks niya, and she's really delivering quality minutes here for the crossovers.
Second time out with Coach Tai. Now it's up 7. Biggest lead of the third set, 18-11. If you just joined us, Cherry TIGGO convincingly taking set number 1. Bumawi and CREAMLINE in set number 2. And then here we go again with Cherry TIGGO building a big lead in set number 3. They need to stay alive. The Adamsonian duo of Joy Dacoron and Maylin Pad waiting at the net.
Such a heavy serve from Panabat.
Kanina pa nagsaserve si Dindin. Dindin rolls it over. Gemma does the same thing. Puting with the save. You can credit half that point to Puting Doremdes.
Meaning that hot shot from Gemma Galanza and si Shaya Dorador finally getting her groove back. And I think we can also credit yung mga aces na kanina when it comes to the confidence that she's showing now.
Definitely.
We thought she was out of this game at some point.
That's out. So Dindin will continue to serve. Oh, wait.
There's a check on
Ball,
that
check
attack.
ball, check that.
Very good one-handed set there by Gia. Talagang pinilit niyang ibalik yung bola kasi if that went over, matatawagin siya ng illegal attack.
Good serve by Eliza. Ganda naman ng bawi doon. And Joy Dacoron making an impact here. Kanina, Michael Ortiz as a starter was the difference in set number 1. Ang mga middles ng Cherry TIGGO.
There's been an exchange of one-handed sets here between Gia and Nabor.
Ganda rin ng effort ni Shaya Dorador doon on that dolphin dive. Gia will bump it. Run and gun for Panaga. Tough set by Gia Morado.
Finally, we're seeing the middles of CREAMLINE joining the scoreboard here. It's a running set. Dinig pass ni Gia Morado pero
Grabe, no?
sakto and Panaga liking that set.
Rosemary Vargas. A heavy-handed server for CREAMLINE Cool Smashers. Down 7. Somebody touched the net right away. Ay, hindi. Yes. Actually, somebody touched the net pero sa side ng Cherry TIGGO. All right. Joy D. Imus is going to talk to Erlinda or Eusebio here. Find out what it's all about.
Eh, bumito ka ba? Eh, replay na lang natin.
Inadvertent whistle ba to? It is. So it's an inadvertent whistle.
Ito mo yung pagkasalisato dun sa jumping set ni Nabor.
And Sato knew it.
Tumalikod na siya eh.
Oo, pero they're gonna give it. And dahil nga let ball, so serve ulit. Hindi nakita ng mga referee. So that's we'll see if that will be a factor, Mela, dito, as Coach Aaron Bellis will call a timeout. His lead is down to 6.
Grabe naman yun.
Hindi ko nakita sa
Sirang-sira.
Timeout to try to reset itong Cherry Tiggo, whose lead is down to 6. Maabot na ng 8 kanina. 2 straight points. Great timeout by Coach Aaron, as Cherry Tiggo is 4 points away from having a 2-1 lead over the CREAMLINE Cool Smashers.
Again, boom na ma-maximize na nila si Jaja lalo because tumagdag na si Shaya. Bumalik na yung reception that he's had a lot of good outputs in Game 1. Kanina medyo nawala but bumabawi.
Gia will reverse it to Tots. Tots nakakita ng puwang pero Buding was there again.
Both teams showing excellent defense here.
Jaja, triple block. They didn't know where the ball went. The point goal to Cherry Tiggo, 22-14. So it's back to the biggest lead at 18. Look at Buding saving this one.
Buding in her element here today.
And then Jaja, not even perfect in terms of that swing, but good enough to get the point. Tots finds a crack in that wall and hammers away.
Now the transition from receiving that ball after the contact is already approaching forward for a good swing in that attack.
Longa on your screens with 12 excellent digs, getting ready to receive. Napor, run and gun, unstoppable.
Unstoppable really is the term for Jaja. I think CREAMLINE has tried a lot of defensive tactics against her. Nag-triple block attempt na inurong na nila yung mga blocks, but still Jaja always finds a way to score off every set given to her.
Shaya is back serving. That will go to CREAMLINE as it bounces out. 23-16 is the score.
Alam mo, kanina yung mga palo ni Gemma malilinis, no? Lihis na lihis talaga. But ngayon, Cherry Tiggo has been doing more efforts in closing the block. Kaya ginagawa Gemma, pinapatama sa kamay.
The knuckle. The knuckle ball sends it to CREAMLINE. Coverage was there. Shaya was there. Jaja rolls it to the other side. Paatras na nagset si Gia Morado, and the block. Return to sender. And we are at set point. Cherry Tiggo looking to get a 2-1 lead here in game number 2.
Papaluin pa lang ni Alyssa yung set na yun. Nakuha na ni Jaja for the block. And again, yun talaga yung struggle kapag ididikit mo yung set with Jaja in front of you.
Chance here for the white shirts. They have to send it over. Gia opens up to Alyssa. Nabor, Dindin, and Dindin gives Cherry Tiggo the third set. 25-16. And if you're Cherry Tiggo, you know you have to try to get this one in 4 sets and not extend it to a 5. In the meantime, we'll take a break, and we will be back with set number 4 for game number 2.
We're back here at the final series, Game 2 of the PVL Open Conference Season 4, set number 3, going to Cherry TIGGO. So far, it's been an exchange of sets between these two teams, CREAMLINE and Cherry TIGGO, and in that set, it was a balanced scoring from the crossovers. And sila talaga yung nakaabante in the early parts of the set, and they were able to maintain the momentum all throughout the game. CREAMLINE medyo dumidikit, pero it was really the Cherry TIGGO crossovers who pulled away towards the end game. The adjustments of Coach Aaron injecting itong si Joy Dacron into the game really paid up for the whole Cherry TIGGO crossovers, and lumamang sila sa atake. And nakita natin yung pattern, no? Kasi hindi lumalamang sa attacks in every set. Sila yung nagtitake ng game. But this time, it was also the blockings of Cherry TIGGO.
Tapos yung aces pa.
That's right. And yung errors nila, dalawa lang the whole set boom. So they were in complete control of that set number 3.
Very good numbers even for CREAMLINE in terms of the errors, down to 3. Pero yun nga, out-aced and out-blocked. And that team matchup brought to you by Ribisco. May pattern tayo konti dito, Mela, that you mentioned, di ba, na hindi dikit yung mga sets.
Talagang yung nagiging puhunan nila is yung lamang nila sa umpisa ng set. And ganun din yung nangyari actually nung Game 1, although yung nangyari doon, consecutive sets muna yung nakuha ng CREAMLINE.
Right.
Pero dito, kung sino talaga nakaka-abante in the early part of the set.
Grabe rin yung sugal ni Coach Venez dito sa mga bench players niya, no? Hugot niya. Joy Dacron kanina, then Elaine Casilag to start. Then Mylene Paat also in that third set. Na malamig, pero they produced. The middles of Cherry today, Micah Ortiz at the start of the match. And then Joy Dacron off the bench. Conventional wisdom, Mela, will tell you that if you're Cherry TIGGO, you have to win this next set.
Nabanggit nga natin, no, kapag fifth set kasi merong na-excite eh. Hindi ko na lang sasabihin kung sino, pero kailangan natin iwasan yung ganong instance. And you know, between these two teams, ito talagang Cherry yung kailangan magsarado na ng set na to if they want to extend this final series to Game 3 tomorrow.
Gia Morado. And CREAMLINE gets the first point of set number 4. You're watching us live on One Sports and One Sports Plus. Nabor. Go to Pat.
Perfect pass there by Buding Morentes. It pays off for Mylene Paat.
Buding has been incredible in this match for Cherry TIGGO. Bawing-bawi.
That's right. We talked about her in the free game. Na siya rin talaga yung magiging key factor in this game. And she's actually the one giving confidence sa kanyang mga teammates, no? Kasi she's there to cover, and then when they have the opportunity to attack, siya yung nagbibigay ng magandang receive at depensa kay Jasmine Nabor.
St. Domingo is in the ball game for the very first time for CREAMLINE. Yun naman ang adjustment nitong coaching staff ng CREAMLINE. Let's see if that pays off.
Again, yung middle game ng CREAMLINE has been a non-factor for the previous sets. Meron tayong nakikita pa isa, 2 puntos, but that's not gonna be enough when the other middle sa opponent naman is usually producing so many points.
Long rally here. Balik kay Tots. Buding. Nabor sa gitna. Pipe attack. What a dig.
Sakto yung defense na yun ni Gia.
Oh! Dacron unable to put it away. Carlos, longest rally of this match so far. The swipe out is wide. But they're gonna call, ano ba to, check ball, Mel?
I think line ball yung dinrop ball na yung Saya. Gemma let that ball go, pero
tumama.
it's hard to say from our angle or kung na-check ba.
Parang sumatin din sa tire ni Eliza.
Vincent Chago with already 14 points in the game.
Valtes gets that point back.
Eliza naman, you know what I noticed from Eliza, napakataas din ng porsyento niya dyan sa opposite side.
GAME2 will be serving 3. Creamline's looking for their third straight Open Conference title, but the first as a professional team. Not good enough para kay Dindin. She knew it.
Creamline scoring off a kill block. If I remember it right, wala silang kill block kanina nung third set.
Yep. 3-0.
And then another good pass there by Duremdes.
That's wide. So the lead goes back to Creamline here, 4-3. Let's see how this fourth set will unfold. So far, it's all big leads. That one will sail out.
High-risk serve. Maganda sana yung clearance. It was also a good floater, but it just sails out.
Tacoron will serve here for TIGGO. Up 2-1. That drops in. Oh, what an impact off the bench.
Talagang helping in any way she can. Tacoron scoring off an ace for the crossovers.
Drops down.
I think it was even sailing out, but it was a misread by Atienza.
Oh, what an attack by Gemma Galanza, down the line.
Gemma Galanza talaga very consistent all throughout the game. Hindi siya nawala, no? For some players, merong nagsistep up in a set, tas medyo nawawala sa mga susunod na phase ng game. But Gemma Galanza just being that go-to player for Creamline when they need the momentum. Speaking of momentum, that error is shifted to the crossovers.
Bat serving 6-5. Pero mga Adamson, yung mga konting impact dito. Tacoron, Galanza, and Bat. Carlos, that's low. 7-5 is the score. TIGGO ahead, 2-1.
Binoon ni Tots Carlos yung last attempt niya. He's a bit far from the net on that one too.
Another bump set. Delayed there by the block. And a rare miscue by Buding today.
Hindi aabot yung overball na yun.
So 6 serving 7. That's Carlos again on your screens. Nabor opens up to Shaya. In between the blockers. Dindin pushes it back. Yep. Pat. Chance ball. Shaya will send it over. Gia will open up. Galanza delayed by the block. Nabor will go to the middle. Down the pipe. Carlos. Sent back to Creamline. Gemma. And this will hit the arm of Dindin Santiago.
That was a good rally for both teams, and nakita natin yung defense nila both on the floor and on the net. The coverage was there too, but Gemma Galanza will finish it off by maximizing on the gap between Nabor and Jaja Santiago. Nakita rin natin Jaja was checked. I think that's the first time today. Maganda yung naging pasa ni Buding. She was checked. So we can really see the effort of Creamline in trying to neutralize Jaja.
2 straight points, and Creamline will go to the technical timeout ahead 8-7.
exception of the crossovers, Jaja Santiago scoring 25 points last game is not taking Game 1 as a loss, but as an opportunity to bounce back on Game 2. As a volleyball player with professional experience, she's learned to master analyzing errors without being hard on oneself. Kailangan lang daw nila ng mental reset dahil may isa pa silang pagkakataon to prove themselves. Otherwise, let's return to set 4 with Tots' service.
Mela, nakausap natin si Jaja Santiago 2 nights ago. And sinabi nga niya, in relation to what I mentioned, she has learned how to turn emotion positively, di ba?
And actually, isa yun sa pagiging professional din. Kasi iba when you're playing for collegiate teams, iba rin pag professional kasi it's your job to really, bounce back from a win, di ba? Kahit given na talo ka. Minsan kapag medyo bata pa sa laro kung tawagin, ang hirap talaga mag-move on sa sa mga talo. But ito, kwento nga ni Jaja, it's her job to bounce back from any losses.
They bounce back with an attack there, Jaja, as Eliza Valdez couldn't handle the heat on that cross-court attack on the right pin.
Again, ibabaw pa rin yung bola ni Jaja.
Shaya Dorodoro will serve now. 8-all, set number 4. Game 2 of the finals. Sent back. Carlos digging. Oh, what an attack by Risa Sato from a perfect set from Gia Morado.
No blocker there for Risa Sato. And again, the coverage paying off for the Creamline Cool Smashers. Nakita natin dahil nga in the previous phases, even in the previous games, we could say na naging non-factor yung middle game ng Creamline. And yung mga blockers ng Cherry nakafocus na talaga sa wing spikers. And it's an opportunity for them na kapag nakakuha ng perfect pass.
Oh, what an attack by Nabor. But a dig by Galanza. And it turns into a Creamline point. Ang ganda ng palo ni Nabor. Kaya lang, ganda ng depensa ng Creamline. 10-8 in set number 4.
Creamline talagang kumakapit dito. That's not an easy ball to defend. No blockers on that. It was a very sharp hit. But Gemma Galanza just in the right place with the right control of the ball.
Yeah, I give credit to both teams, both on their counter-attacking abilities in that sequence. Coach Aaron calls a timeout here.
Dali boy. Hindi ka. Walang alinlangan.
Down 2, but up a set. The Cherry TIGGO crossovers trying to extend this to a winner-take-all game number 3. Galanza serving. Overpass na naman! And Shaya Dorodor wasn't able to handle that one.
Two players from Creamline even went up for the kill. Tatlo naman dito for Creamline. And again, it's the same pattern that has been going on for the past 4 sets.
Perfect attack, perfect setup for Jaja. Santiago cuts the lead down to 2.
I noticed medyo nakukuha na nila yung timing sa pag-block kay Jaja, no? But that time, Risa Sato, medyo malayo lang sa net. But maganda na sana yung naging tapat and timing nila ni Eliza for the double block.
Big pass. Lumusot pa rin as Eliza Valdez is able to swing and power it through.
Much power in that hit. Ganda rin yung tapat ni Dacoron doon. Nakita natin she was pushed off for that block.
Right.
Nadala ng palo eh.
Oh. Dacoron.
Ooh.
What a perfect run and gun.
What a hit for Joy Dacoron. And we also have to credit Shaya Dorador for that perfect pass. At a look at this Duncan spike of the set, courtesy of Joy Dacoron.
Pumreno pa ng konting-konti. Just enough to stay with the ball. And an ace. Courtesy of Jasmine Nabor. That
TIGGO
is
trying to tie the game here kasi pag hinayaan nila lumaki yan, again, it's gonna be the same pattern na na-observe natin kanina. Ako sino yung nakakalamang na malaki in the early part of the set, sa kanila napupunta yung set na yun.
That is the 12th ace of the tournament by the former attacker, third setter. Seems like a lifetime ago already. 11 serving 12. The push. The ball is there to dig. Dindin. Bumuelo. Lumusot. Gia opens up to Eliza. And a touch at the net by a crossover.
Tuturuan kung sino bang nakatouch ng net.
Sayang kasi na-block touch na sana. Na-delay nung ano.
Opportunity sana to counter-attack. But let's credit also yung mga block touches nito ni Celine Domingo, and she was even able to recover yung bola after.
34 excellent sets today. 41 in game number 1 for Gia Morado as Tintin Santiago with some heat on that strike.
I see resemblance sa mga atake ni Tots Carlos at ni Dindin, no? Yung tipong kahit ma-check mo talagang ang layo ng talsik eh. So, power spikers to both teams.
A push, sent back. The coverage by Atienza. Binalikan si Eliza. What a decision by Gia Morado.
Eliza Valdez nakabalik in time for the second attempt.
Not an easy thing to do, no, Mela? After a push like that, to go back to your landing or to your loading strip.
Yung transition kung tawagin.
Yeah.
Especially that's not yung side na sanay siya.
Oops.
She's gonna give away a service error there to Cherry.
That is her fourth, by the way today. Yun yung kanyang sabi nga natin. Medyo weakness in this game. 35 all in all, fourth service error for Eliza Valdez in this game.
Minsan kasi ano na rin eh, tactical na din eh. Talagang pinapakargahan yung serve. So mas high risk, high reward or error.
And how about that? Speaking of, kinargahan ni Joy Dacoron, kinargan si Eliza Valdez, and ties the ball game at 14.
Quality minutes here for Joy Dacoron.
No doubt.
From attacks, from blocks. And I think this is even her second ace in this game.
Go back to Eliza. Carlos. And it's sent back by the net defense of Cherry TIGGO, and Mela, they have taken over the lead 15-14.
This is the first instance na may nakahabol at nakalamang in this game, and take note that si Daya Doradora block nun. She's slowly picking up her game here in game 2 of the finals.
Open. Gia. Galanza. Shaya was there, but that's already out. Coach Aaron Bello says it's okay. But what a sharp angle again by Gemma Galanza.
Sharp and powerful.
Yeah.
What an angle taken by Gemma Galanza. First line hit.
We're going to send Vargas to serve. Service specialist.
It's really a joy to watch Gemma Galanza varied her attacks. Kanina, sunod-sunod. Cross-court, sharp pero mahaba. But this time, first line na hit naman.
Can do it from anywhere and do it anyway.
And take note, boom, nagagawa na yan with Jaja as her blocker.
Right. Erlindo Eusebio. Oh, Shaya thought there was a check, none given, so it's going to be CREAMLINE points 16-15 in set number 4. This is match number 53, officially game number 2 of the finals. Yesterday, Melov, match number 52, lasted 2 hours and 3 minutes in 5 sets. We don't know where this...
I was gonna say, I'm not gonna say it's gonna take that long. Wala tayong sinasabi.
I'm not saying anything, I'm just stating stats. Right now, we are in set 4, 16-15 is our score, bola ng Cherry. And they don't waste it. Jaja Santiago goes long to the corner again.
Again, it's the long ball for Jaja, no? That's been very effective. Medyo na-touch na siya kanina. Nakukuha na yung timing at yung pagtapat. So right now, ibabalik na naman sa long balls yung kanyang mga atake.
What a player. What an athlete. Si Jaja Santiago. And as you pointed out, thinking on the fly, no, Mela? Hindi lang basta hampas lang ng hampas.
And isa kasi yun talaga sa mahihirap depensahan. Kasi usually, ang pattern, ang defense pattern, when you're defending quick balls, yan yung mga nakapasok talaga. Kasi tendency ng quicker, patusok talaga yung mga palo. But for Jaja, maliban sa matangkad na, talaga dinadala niya dun sa walang tao.
This time, I think she wins on that joust. On the second ball, overpass by Buding, and sinara niya yung pinto kay Sato. So 2 straight points for Jaja.
Jaja Santiago all over that ball.
17-16. Gemma answers back, but this time it is wide.
Again, Gemma trying to lift her attack. Cross court have worked well for her, but this time she's gonna have too much juice and too much angle on that down the line hit.
Kita niyo, mahabol si Jaja sa block, pero ito kitang-kita.
Totally out.
Maybe a couple of inches there. TIGGO trying to force a winner-take-all game number 3 in this PVL season, which has been characterized by basically a grind and the war of attrition throughout the season in terms of the schedule, in terms of games played, sets played. Right now, 49 sets ang inilaro ng Creamline, 46 naman before game number 2. Hindi pa nasasama itong game number. So both have really put in some major court time, so to speak, as Jaja Santiago continues to pound away.
Triple block against Jaja Santiago. She was touched, but again, that ball will sail out. Yun lang kasi boom yung difference. Kanina sabi natin it's better na sasaluhin mo na lang yung bola. Pero as compared kapag kinayungan mo, there's really no control kapag kasi pagpapasalo.
Gemma answers. Cuts the lead down to 2. This is far from over, but Cherry has a little bit of momentum here and will be trying to play for a side out.
The creativity of Gemma Galanza, her leadership and maturity in this game, you know, it's a skill also that you develop na kapag kailangan ng point, yung efficiency mo talaga ay nandun. And in this case, Gemma Galanza.
Wow, what a pancake by Tots. Chance ball here for the white shirts. See, back to Jaja for the 3rd straight time, and she scores in one rally 3 times. Jaja bouncing around and getting the 3-point lead. 2017. And it is Shaya Adorador at the service line.
Yan, nakikita natin, every point here is so hard-earned. The defenders of Creamline, pancake left and right. And the more they scramble, lalo naman binibilisan ng Cherry Tigo itong mga plays nila.
Whoop, overpass.
Of course, errors are gonna play a factor in this end set, this end game rather.
This is where nerves come into play. No chance to close a set, which is always tough, Nella, closing out an opponent, especially an experienced opponent. Gemma Galanza serving. Puting. Din finds the target and goes for the kill.
Nakita natin yung timing ni Dindin, no? She paused a little para timingan yun because the set was a bit too high and it was an out-of-system set.
But height is might.
That's right. And yung contact niya rin talaga mataas sa bola.
Look at the numbers of Jaja. Monster numbers.
Credit a set to her.
Somebody touched the net, so kumakapit pa rin dito ang Creamline. Dalawa lang ang hinahabol, and Elaine Casilat cannot believe the call by Erlindo Eusebio.
And errors are gonna be very crucial at this final shove set no more as we see double substitution again. We've had quality minutes from both Negrito and Gumaba when they came in early part of this set.
Sato serving. Tense moments here in set number 4. That is out. Namigay ng puntos ang Creamline. That might be an expensive one, Mela. Depends on how this set goes.
Starters coming back in for Cherry Tigo. Nabor also one of the heavy serves for their team.
Nabor had an ace earlier today. The third set.
Full front line for Cherry Tigo as well as Creamline.
Michelle finds the corner.
Again, the long balls working well for both teams. Michelle Gumaba wide open on that one.
Does her job well, then goes back to the bench, and we're bringing back the starters for Creamline.
Yun talaga yung role kapag pinapasok. It's not really how long you play, but how big of an impact you bring to the table.
Morado with 24 aces coming into game number 2.
Good serve.
But good first ball also by Shaya. Kaya naman, nakadikdik ng palo si Dindin for a crucial 3-point lead here. Cherry Tigo is 2 points away.
Was that perfect lead? Nahirapan si Domingo humabol for her block against Dindin Santiago Manabat because yung kaharap niya si Dacuron has been well activated also in this game.
Alright. Ganda rin ng bawi ni Shaya Dorador dito, Mela.
Kanina, no, early parts of the set, buti na lang, nung time na medyo off si Shaya, ay may gumagawa para sa team nila.
And she scores on the off-speed push. And at match point, Cherry Tigo is a point away from extending this to a winner-take-all.
Shaya Dorador coming alive when she's needed the most, and they are now at match point.
On cue, pinag-usapan natin. 24-20. Combination play. Eliza Valdez says, don't count us out yet.
And really can sleep on Creamline even with the score.
No way. This is a good timeout by Coach Aaron Velez to ice the server. And to give one last reminder, they will be on offense as Eliza will serve. Wow. So Eliza Valdez will serve, saving one set point. Puding is receiving. Din Din will still score on a broken play. And Cherry TIGGO stays alive and forces a sudden death Friday.
This is the kind of final series that we're in for. And nakita natin that this was a hard-earned win for the Cherry TIGGO crossovers. They really worked their way going to this game, going to the finals, and then ngayon naman working their way to a Game 3 here.
And they did it the way they should by not forcing a fifth set, Mela. They stayed safe and won it in convincing fashion in 4 sets. We'll take a break and we'll be back to wrap this baby up. We're back inside here of the PCV Socio-Civic Center in Baccaray, Ilocos Norte. And 4-set win by the Cherry TIGGO crossovers. The newcomers to the PVL will force a do-or-die match on Friday. In a way, Mela, this is what a lot of people expected. A lot of people expected this series to go all the way till Game 3 because of the talent, the number of superstars that we have, and the kind of players that we have here in the finals. And Ai Tinsay is with our player of the game, Jaja Santiago.
Good evening. Here with me is player of the game. Jaja, you've made it to the finals and you've dominated and led your team to a Game 3. Ano yung main factor? Bakit kayo nanalo today?
I think the main factor
Yes.
is we believe in God.
Yes.
Siya talaga yung nagdala sa amin dito. Lahat ng ginagalaw namin talaga. Kumbaga,
Tama.
hard work and God do the rest talaga. And talagang sabi ko nga sa'yo, mentally dapat prepared kami dito. So yun, kailangan pa namin mag-focus and magsama-sama, tulong-tulong hanggang makuha namin yung goal namin.
And Jaja, may gusto ko bang batiin na mamahal mo sa buhay. And of course, your fans who have supported you since day one.
Binabati ko po lahat nagpapasalamat po ako sa lahat ng sumusuporta sa Cherry TIGGO crossover. Maraming salamat po sa pagmamahal at pagsuporta niyo sa amin. Binabati ko rin po yung bumubuo ng Cherry TIGGO crossover, Ma'am Ada, Sir Romel, Sitin family, yung Cherry and Photon company, hello po, and patuloy niyo po kaming suportahan. Hi po sa lola ko, kay Mami Luz, kay Mama Love, and sa mga kapatid ko po, and kay Chuchi.
Yes, congratulations again, Jaja. And the rest of the crossovers expect another thrilling matchup in Game 3 tomorrow.
Thank you very much, Ai Tinsay. Jaja Santiago is the personification of maturity now and that fight back. Pinakita niya, kumbaga, as they say, di ba? If you talk the talk, you have to walk the walk, and that's what she did for game number 2, Mela.
And nakita natin yung mga sets, halos kanina palitan. There was a exchange also in momentum between these two teams. But something or someone remained very consistent for their team, and that's Jaja Santiago. All those moments in the whole 4 sets, hindi talaga siya nawala. And sabi niya nga, na-mention niya rin yung mental toughness. Of course, if you're going up against a team as mature and as talented as CREAMLINE, you really gotta step up not just your, your skills, but also your mental game.
Set number 1 belonged to Cherry TIGGO. They showed a fight right away and then broke the set wide open midway, convincingly won. But in classic fashion, CREAMLINE also fought back and dominated Cherry TIGGO number 2, Mela.
That's right, and coming off from their loss yesterday sa Game 1, inayos agad nila yung mga kailangan nilang ayusin, as we saw a different Buding Durendes also who maintained such a steady game here today. Kaya, if we compare their output today from yesterday, ang dami talaga ang nag-shine para sa Cherry TIGGO crossovers.
By the way, we have to give credit, going back to set number 1, to people like Micah Ortiz who really set the tone, lalo na sa middle para dito sa Cherry TIGGO, which sets the stage for set number 3 kung saan nakita natin ang pagpasok ni Joy Dacuron at saka ni Maylene Paag.
That's right, and makikita nga natin it was completely a team effort from Cherry TIGGO na kahit sinong bunutin para sa kanila, it really showed how much they wanted this game, how much they wanted to extend the sets, and nakita rin natin yung efforts ng CREAMLINE, especially with their defense, no? But nakita rin natin how well studied sila Tots Carlos, si Gemma Galanza yung talaga maganda yung pinakita for CREAMLINE as well as Eliza Valdez, pero si Tots Carlos I think was studied well by the Cherry TIGGO crossovers, tapos yung mga pinasok pa ng Cherry TIGGO ay mga hindi mukhang naaral because si Joy Dacuron is yet to see action ng matagal na panahon, no?
Pampagulat. And set number 4, we also give credit to Shaya Adorador, who bounced back first from the service line, got some confidence, and then started to dig and receive well, and then started to hit well also kahit yung mga off-speed niya working. Set 4 was probably the closest set that we had, Mela, in terms of yung mga palitan from 1 to around 20.
Kasi yung 3 sets, talagang kung sino yung nagbangko ng malaking lamang sa unahan, sila yung nananalo doon. Pero itong CREAMLINE did not really go down without a fight here. Tinry nila dumikit as much as possible in set number 4. But again, nadagdagan yung taong nag-contribute for them, talking about Shaya Adorador, na talagang she slowly picked up her game at her own pace, and it just came in time to seal this game in 4 sets.
Well, Mela, the fans will get what they want. A full series.
Yeah.
Oh, and that will be at 3 p.m. Maaga-aga po tayo. Magsisimula bukas as the Baccara venue in Ilocos Norte will be hosting the do or die sudden death matchup between the CREAMLINE Cool Smashers and the Cherry TIGGO crossovers. The crossovers, as I mentioned at the start of the game, showed grit, they showed determination, and they showed the ability to adjust and the ability to come back. And that's how they got game number 2. Sa ngalan po ni Mela Tunay, ni Ai Tinsay, at lahat ng bumubuo ng PVL at dito po sa One Sports and One Sports Plus and Signal, ako po si Boom Gonzalez. We'll see you tomorrow for Game 3 of the finals between the CREAMLINE Cool Smashers and the Cherry TIGGO crossovers.